good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Ox, here on the show after watching that classic encounter, not Rangers versus St Johnstone at McDermott Park. Joining myself is Jaff. Evening, Jaff.
Hi, Ox. How you doing, mate? Hello, everybody.
Well, mate. Thoughts?
Some penalty.
Oh, mate.
Scott Wright was good. Scott Wright was excellent, wasn't he?
Good goal. Good finish. He done some nice things. There was a couple of boys done okay, but overall, mate, it wasn't a great watch, was it?
7 changes, Docs. I think we've seen before earlier in the season when we make those kind of changes to the team, it goes all a bit disjointed, doesn't it? It gets a bit erratic.
Have no fit, mate. Nowhere near fit.
No, miles away. Good to see him on, though. Good to see him. 60 minutes into him, that helps tremendously. But
I think the thing is that they can't play bounce games at the moment, so how else do you get somebody fit,
Yeah, that's a difficult thing, Ox. And obviously, a big game on Sunday. So, listen, the unbeaten run's still there. So, if that's the way you want to look at it, we only drew one each, so it's all right.
Listen, I'm looking forward to tomorrow night's shoe for the bridge. I want to explain some of the refereeing decisions to me. I think I'm one. It's no critical on referees or the priest, but God, that guy baffled me.
Just a cheat, Ox. Just a total cheat, pal. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. These guys, I know you can cut them slack, but how did he possibly think that for 1 minute that was a penalty?
Don't know.
Some of the bookings that were never bookings, were just unbelievable. I mean, you even saw the players kind of looking at each other going, "What's all that about?" You can't legislate for it. I don't know. But I mean, is it just because we're Rangers and everybody hates us? I don't know. I've not got a clue, mate. Pass Kieran about it. Pass Kieran.
I mean, God, it was never a penalty to death. It was never a penalty. They had a stronger claim for the first two, if I'm being honest, yeah.
Well, I mean, I heard somebody on, I think it was Tom Miller saying that they were definitely going to get a penalty after what happened with the other two. He was itching to give a penalty. Itching.
But Kemar Roof's got to take some responsibility, mate. We had the ball to go and he just has to roll it to Patterson. Patterson takes it down the wing and we see what happens. And then we don't get the ball away and we see the game out. I know it's an end of the season friendly, if you like, in some respects, but you've still got to do the right things in my book, mate.
You've got to. Yeah, that's true, Ox. At this level, and the level of the levels that we've hit all season, you've got to do the right things and the simple things right, and we just didn't. Or Roof, should I say? Roof didn't. It's what do you say? He's brilliant when he's on form, Roof. He's absolutely brilliant when he's on form, but he can be one of those players that frustrates you at times, doesn't he?
I thought Wright was the best to the front three, mate. I don't want to be too critical because they've not played a lot of football together, and Big Itten, we've not seen much of him at all, really. A couple of times neat and tidy, a lot of stuff slack. They look like people who hadn't played a lot of games, mate.
I know, that's the thing, Ox. You don't want to be overcritical with these guys because to get the levels up at the kind of the way we play football and the way we've been trying and the levels we've been playing all season, you just can't walk in and play 90 minutes of brilliant football. It takes 6, 7, 8 games. Look at Arfield coming back from, and he's played most of the season. He was out for 6 weeks. Look how much he dropped off the pace. It took him about another 4 or 5 weeks to probably put in his best performance, which was on Sunday there, obviously. It takes a lot, Ox, to get back to those levels. You're not just going to pick it up. Itten was good in the set, a bit better. Not good. He was better in the second half. He was better than he was in the first half, I felt. Still there, Oaks?
It's exactly what we said on the tin, mate. What did you think of the boy Simpson or the piece?
I thought he looked good again. I thought he looked all right. He was done. He was done all the right things that he had to do. He was tidy. He was neat. He was getting the headers in. Don't get me wrong, Oaks. I thought the first 25 minutes we were all over the place. We looked mile off it in the first 25 minutes. It took us a good half hour to get a grip of the game.
Mm-hmm. That's what you could see that Tav couldn't. He wasn't fit. He kicking the ball. It was all, everything was disjointed. But hope for the 60 minutes and move on, because obviously Sunday's my priority and everybody will come back in. Yeah, but please, get his goal.
I saw Gerrard laughing at the end of the game. With Callum Davidson. The wry smile. Listen, it'll be a different Rangers that appears on Sunday. Totally different Rangers. I'm sure of that.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Right, okay, let's get these phone lines opened. All right with that, mate?
Oh, come on, bring them on down. Get the callers in. Andy for Leeds, Big Bob Gerrard, get them in.
After that, mate, you'll need to phone them and wake them up. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, it was a bit of a non-event as a game goes. The second half, apart from the sort of incidents with the refereeing decisions, I don't think John McLaughlin hardly touched the ball.
He didn't. He didn't. And I thought, again, when the changes started coming through, Aribo coming on and a wee switch there, getting Tav off, I thought Aribo slotted in well. He looked as if he was right. He was picking up the pace. Again, I thought we looked settled. We'd had the goal by that time. We were probably just going to see the game out. And essentially we did see the game out. Let's not be kidding about it. But, he didn't have anything to do, Ops. I don't remember him making a save the whole game. I think he had a couple of instances in the first half.
When he caught the ball and a couple of shots. They started the half okay in a couple of corners. I thought at times, but bizarrely, the sun was a factor, which is very unusual in Scotland, isn't it?
Aye, especially in Perth. Aye, it was. I seen them glaring down a couple of corners right at the start of the game. They had 2 or 3 corners rapid, and McLaughlin was finding it difficult because he came out a couple of times. I think more than anything just to get rid of the ball, because nobody could really see it.
He's got something that Alan McGregor's not got. Sweeper keeper, isn't he?
Aye, I did. I saw that a couple of times, Ox. It's a good quality, that, especially. Obviously that was the tactic, was to try and push high up. I don't know if that was maybe to compensate for Tav maybe being a bit off the pace or not.
Well, we'll find out how Tav is, hopefully tomorrow after that game. Anyway, we've been joined with Jamie. How we doing, Jamie?
Hi, Ox. Hi, panel. How you doing?
Hi, Jamie. How you doing, mate?
You must have enjoyed that, Jamie.
I nearly fell asleep in the first half, to be honest, but we get 15 minutes.
The rest days.
Aye. I was on last night and I basically called that team, apart from Simpson. I had Hollander in, but apart from that, I had it spot on. And I'm glad that they played that team, to be honest. I thought a lot of them needed game time, but it just showed that we do need Morelos, we do need Kent, I think, to really.
There's a couple of them need taxis, I think, but we'll come to that as maybe the end of the season. But the boy Wright showed flashes. Simpson showed flashes. Aribo, the highlight of the match, his wee drag back and dribble when he actually ran out of the park, but it was brilliant before that.
No, he's got that, and I thought Kamara had a good game. He kind of went unnoticed, but he did actually win the ball a lot for us in the midfield again. So he was probably. It's difficult to pick a man in the match tonight. I thought overall we were poor all round. I was quite impressed with McLaughlin, but I always am. But I want to have a go at Kamara Roof. Just that last 3-4 minutes of the game, and then I honestly don't know why. Well, I do know why he's shooting for his own half, because he's scored before, but I think it was just stupidity or the wrong decision at the end, and that's cost us the points. And if it did matter,
He should have rolled it to the boy. He should have rolled it to the boy Patterson, mate, who was steaming down the wing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it's an important game, we're calling that out. I think the players should call that out, because I think Roof's decision making this season, like these 2 red cards, and then obviously there's been a few other instances, but I'm looking for more for him with the money we've paid for him. So I just, if Morelos is out, who's coming in? Because Itten didn't play very well tonight either, I don't think. So
I would say that none of the two of them took their chance, really, Jaffa, to impress, if I'm being honest. And I'm being kind when I say that.
Aye, I think so. Yeah, you are being kind, Ox. You would listen. You would hope that under the circumstances, they get the opportunity. The manager says to them, "You're on for the start of the night. Your name's on the team sheet." You'd be kicking doors down to prove yourself, and possibly even maybe give them something to think about for Sunday. But I don't know if it's end of season. I don't know if maybe they're just not up to our standard, or maybe we're being incredibly unfair on the guys. They've not had a fair run of games. To expect them to come up to that level from a standing start it's a big ask. Definitely is a big ask. But Scott Wright's done it, hasn't he?
We can only critique the performance, but we can say that there are reasons behind that, Jamie, that they haven't played a lot of football, some of the guys. Oh, we lost Jamie. You there, Jamie?
No, sorry, my mum was talking to me in the background there. What did you ask? No, well, she did have a point. So she's like, she felt as though we made too many changes, I think, which interrupted their play. But sorry, what did you ask me? So I can respond.
No, you just get off the phone and put your maw on. What do you think, Jeff?
What's your maw's name, Jamie?
Leslie for
Coatbridge. Leslie for Coatbridge?
Aye. Am I putting her on?
Put her on.
Get her on.
It says no.
Come on, Leslie.
She's right, but listen, if we don't get any injuries today and we move on and we win on Sunday, which we should do, watching that tonight, the night will be forgotten about. Jaffa?
Aye, exactly, Ox. I mean, that's kind of where my head is on it, and hopefully, we'll forget about it. It's one of those end of season games, isn't it? No damage done, as you say, no injuries. Everybody gets back down the road, and we're A-okay. You did, Jamie, call that team last night. I remember your team when and my thoughts on it were I didn't want them to make so many changes, maybe one or two, for the reasons that we're now discussing. But listen, I'm done with trying to guess what Steven Gerrard's going to do. You can't guess him. He just he's got his own way of working, and we just need to bow to that. It's his way or no way.
Aye, there'll be reasons for it. There'll be reasons why he's done what he's done. He's protect. Who did he protect tonight? Really, Kent, Morelos, who are certainties to start on Sunday and the following Sunday. They were Alanda, who he brings out a lot of the time, doesn't he? He's protected, in some respects, Patterson. Got to have some minutes towards his rehabilitation, so that's a plus. McLaughlin, he's a big plus, John McLaughlin, for me. He's a real able deputy for Alan McGregor, Jamie.
Anytime he's played, I'm confident. Well, I think he's better than McGregor at kicking the ball. So when we're playing a lesser side, I'm happy with McLaughlin, because I think we play better at the back. But no, I didn't expect him to be so good, especially at the start of the season. I think that gave us a good platform when he had all these clean sheets at the start. So when McGregor does hang up his gloves, I'm happy for McLaughlin to come in. I'm no too excited with McCrory on loan. I don't think he's done that much at Livingston. So if McLaughlin comes in for a couple of years, that'll be good.
Yeah, good points there, Jaffa.
I like John McLaughlin a lot. I think he he makes us play a slightly different way. With that sweeper role, he gives the almost the defence and he comes for a lot of cross balls as well, which I like. I think he does. He brings. He's a great goalie, Jamie. I think he brings. He would be an April. He'd be a brilliant first team, and as you say, taking over from Alan McGregor. I've got no qualms about that. Clearly snared to Steven Gerrard.
Aye. Davis played away and kept his playing, and I thought when Arfield and Aribo came on, Jamie, they done okay, but just we lost that silly goal at the end, and it's quite frustrating really. But we can't moan, can we? Do the piece, but we will.
It's just that last bit of roof that I was annoyed about, and it's just after the game, everybody's a bit emotional or wants to react and pick the negatives with it as a Rangers support, but. Overall, it was like a nothing game almost tonight, and I'm glad that we used the squad and we got to find out a bit more about the players that are on the fringes. So I'm happy with how it went tonight overall.
With the guys getting minutes rather than the performance, I don't know if you can be happy with that performance. If I'm being honest,
I did love the Scott Wright finish, Ox. That was brilliant.
Highlight of the game for us, wasn't it? It was a highlight of the game, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that wee side foot just into the bottom corner, it was classy. It was really composed for a guy so young, really composed finish.
Do you think we've got a problem? Sorry, do you think we've got a problem if Patterson does get banned with Tav? Do you think he's capable of playing 90 minutes now? I thought he gave the ball away quite a bit tonight.
Well, Tav didn't have a good game. Tav was poor, but what I'm saying is he'll be better for the 60 minutes. They'll look at him tomorrow. They'll do what they have today, and you never know. We might see him if he might be on the bench on Sunday and get some more minutes and slowly build up his fitness. Every day it goes by, he'll be getting fitter and stronger. Jaffa.
Yeah.
Well, exactly, Ox. I mean, Jamie, to answer your question, I think if Patterson gets banned, to expect Tavernier to come back in and play to the level that he was either playing at before is, I don't think even the manager would expect that, to be honest with you. And I don't know where the situation is. Balogun, is he still out injured, Dogs?
I don't know if we'll see him this season. If I'm honest. Anyway, we've also been joined by Andy for Leeds. Evening, Andy.
Good evening, boys.
How are you doing, Andy?
Not too bad. Just saying, I mean, you kind of knew, didn't you? 7 changes. You thought there was going to be an imbalance there, which was shown in the game. I think the only one that stood out there that I think that we're all thinking that's going to make it is Wright. Just poor watch, wasn't it? Their attitude wasn't right. But you'd be looking at over a piece. The big game's on Sunday, and we've got to make sure that we carry on what we did last Sunday. So let's got too disheartened over it right enough. It wasn't a good attitude. It's not what we expect for the team. We should have had enough to impose ourselves all over them. I mean, I was surprised. I thought they were more of a football team, but all they were doing was just lumping big balls in there right enough, So I can't see anything there to worry about. Get the right time out there on Sunday, get their attitude back. It's kind of like a boxing match, and like the first 5 rounds, have a wee look at somebody and then say, right, second part, I'm going to take you out. Hopefully that's what the team will do. What kind of penalty? I don't know, I'm baffled. What is a penalty there? Can you tell us? I don't know what that... How did he get a penalty there?
Mate, I just don't know, mate. I don't even know. Obviously, the pictures aren't the best, but I don't even know if he touched him.
No?
I don't even know if he touched him. Yeah. Jamie, what did you think?
No, I think the only reason he gave the penalty there was because there was 3 opportunities all in for him to give a penalty and he hadn't. So I think that was just pressure for their players, and that was it. If any of them were a penalty, it probably would be the first one. But all 3 of them, to be honest, could either have been or couldn't have been a penalty. But no, overall, I thought the referee was poor tonight. He got his card out too quickly.
There wasn't any real fouls in the game, was there? And he was booting players. Sometimes you just need a foul.
Even for the St Johnstone players, I don't think a lot of their bookings were bookings either. I don't think it was a dirty game.
But it was It wasn't a great watch, Andy, was it?
Oh, jeez. That's it. If I'd been drinking tonight, I think I'd have been stone cold sober, I'll be honest with you. That was a terrible watch there. But, you've got to take it for what it is, I mean, I'm pretty sure that, he had in mind what he did to do there. Some of them needed game time, but I don't know, Christ. I mean, I'll tell you, I'm going to upset with hard point here enough, but I don't think that just got it at all,
Do you know?
No,
I can't believe anybody thinks that.
he's I don't know. I mean, he seems to be mumping his gums and all. I've been watching his cooping there a wee bit, and it looks kind of, sour-faced there just at the minute, last 2 or 3 weeks, he's not getting games right enough, but you would have thought like the other night that he would have kind of stepped up there, and Alec Davis played well in his own wee way, like he always does. As I say, I was very impressed with Wright. I think I hope he's going to make it. I like it. But the rest of them tonight, geez, Hatton did all right in the second half. He's disappointed me because, I've kind of, championed him a wee bit, thinking if he gets the games he could be. But I'm kind of to think, well, we'll see. I mean, but no, it was it was dire tonight, definitely. I mean,
it wasn't a great watch. But we've been joined by Rudy Bear. Evening, Rudy.
Evening, Ox, Jaffa. That's 90 minutes of my life I'm not going to get back, Ox, is it? Okay, it is what it is, Ox. It was just, Gary McAllister sort of hinted that there would be some changes, didn't he, in the presser? And there was as well, 7 changes. I wasn't really expecting that, I have to say. But it was probably the right thing to do. I mean, league titles there, and we've got the league titles in the bag, it's the last few games of the season, and there isn't really much to play for apart from the Scottish Cup now, it's another game, we're undefeated, so a penalty at the end was just laughable. I'm texting my mate, and I'm just rolling about laughing. I'm saying, it's never a penalty in a million years, But they were desperately trying to get a penalty, so they were. And I think it was Jaffa was saying that, or maybe Jamie or somebody was saying that he had several opportunities where he could have gave a penalty, and maybe he could have done at one point, But that one was never a penalty, But look, Sunday's the big game. That's the one that really matters, And we'll see Morelos and the likes of Kent and all that. Aribo will start the game at the weekend and stuff like that. You'll see a different team on Sunday in the cup game,
I think the team will Hollander will be back in. I think Barris.
Aye. Do you know what was quite? Sorry, Ox. Do you know what was quite impressed about the boy Simpson? Having not really seen much of him so far this season, I was quite impressed with his pace, Ox. It looks like he's got a wee bit of pace, doesn't he?
Yes, and he turns once he gets going. He's reasonably quick. He passed the ball most of the night pretty well.
Aye.
Obviously, it's hard to judge in one performance. The ball bouncing about the box, there's a bit of luck involved with that, and he'll learn for the penalties that these guys, these big hard men that play in Scotland, will go down.
Yep.
I mean, the referee had already booked that guy for diving, so surely must have thought,
Yeah. I mean,
they could have had a penalty before that, but that one at the end was never good here.
Never in a million years. Like you, Ox, I think they could have had a penalty the one before it, but no, that was never a penalty, And I think he's realised, he messed the other one and he's thought, I'll tell you what, I'll just give him this one, you know what I mean? I thought Roof was pretty poor the night, I have to say, and I like Roof, so I think Roof scored some cracking goals for us this season, but he was poor the night, Ox. He just didn't seem in.
What a night it's been for us, isn't it? The Lassies have lost a goal in the last minute. We've lost a penalty, and they've scored in the last minute at extra time. I think cannot equalise. We just kind of get a break in it. Did we care, Rudy? Did we care?
No, listen, see if it was tight at the top. We were on here moaning and greeting and all that, I mean, but it's long gone, it's long done with, isn't it? So, it doesn't really matter. As I say, Sunday's the one that matters now, Ox, isn't it? The Scottish Cup. You'll see a different team on Sunday, I'm absolutely convinced of it. We're at home, we're at Ibrox. Morelos and the likes of Kent, Aribo will start the game, Helander will be back and all that, so you'll see a different game on Sunday.
Yeah. You back with us, Jeff? Jeff, you there? You're on mute, mate. Press your mute button. Good. Come on, Jeff. You're officially doing a bridge, man, for your first time. He'll get no Harry in a second.
How's that?
That's it, mate. You're getting a high. What a star. What a star. I agree with a lot of what Rudy's saying there, but it just wasn't a good watch, was it? Only thing I wish it had started earlier so we could get better in the night. That was awful. Jeff.
Aye, I'm wakened up.
How many changes do you see us making on Sunday, mate?
For tonight's game?
Yes.
I think probably 6.
Right, okay, so Patterson come back in.
Patterson back in. Yep.
McGregor
in. McGregor.
Arfield in midfield.
Aribo.
And Aribo, Morelos and Kent up front.
Yes. Possibly Scott Wright. Possibly.
Any thoughts, Jamie?
Nah, I don't think he'll start right. I think he'll probably go back to the team that started against Celtic. That's our strongest 11 at the moment. Aye.
Andy?
Yeah, I was just, as the lad just said there, that was where I'd go back to what we played with the Celtic. I can't see Wright coming straight in, so I think he'll go back to that. He might get a cameo back on it, for his performance tonight, but no, I think he'll stick with the team that knocked them out last Sunday. And I think that would be the right way to go, to be honest with you, don't you?
Aye, I think so. I mean, Scott Wright's giving him food for thought. Rudy, he is giving him food for thought. He's doing okay.
He certainly is. When he's coming on, Ox, he's impressing himself onto the game. I thought he took his goal really well tonight as well. Nice wee curler, had to hit it through a couple of players, to get it into the corner of the net. But I thought he'd done really well. But I'm with Jamie. I think we'll see the same team that started against them at the weekend there. I think we'll see the same team, so you're talking about sort of 6 changes or something like that. Griggsy will be back in goals again. Hollander will be back. Kent will be back. Aribo will start the game. Alfredo will be back again. I don't see Roof getting a start at the weekend on that performance, because that was woeful for Roof the night. I thought it was terrible. His touch was off. His passing was off. Nothing was coming off for him. And it's maybe because he's not played a lot of football, But back to Scott Wright. You're right, Ox. He impresses himself on the game when he comes on. I think he'll only get better and better. And once he gets a full pre-season with us under his belt too, I'm looking forward to seeing him next season. That boy, I think he's going to make a big impression for us. So yes.
He works hard, Rudy.
Works really hard. He's constantly on the move. He's constantly shouting. He's wanting the ball all the time. Ox. He's running into space, and he's quick as well. And you've seen it. As I said, you see the goal he scored tonight. He knows where the goal is. He took that goal really well. So he works really hard. He could be a really good asset for us going forward in the next couple of seasons. As I say, full pre-season under his belt, and you might see the best of him next season. Ox.
Aye. He'll be a big plus for the night, Jaffa Scott Wright.
I think so, Ox. I mean, he was a guy who was causing right for the off. He was a guy who was causing a bit of bother, and he looked like the standout. Like the lads are saying, I mean, it was a all round. It was a pretty poor performance. It was a bit of a damp squib, wasn't it? But we move on, onwards and upwards. Bring on Sunday.
Yeah. It's like a 2-legged affair to hear it.
It says that. Well, I was actually thinking that. I thought, well, if we went and rolled them, rolled them out of the night, there would have been more up for it, right? So I'll just take it like that. I think it's the first time in many, many years that I've actually been as calm as a cucumber after we dropped a couple of points. I'm usually bouncing off the wall, and we dropped a couple of points. So, it is what it is. Nothing lost. League's done. So, Cup to look forward to, isn't it?
We could have come on here and said we played well, but we're no raging. Would that be fair, Jamie?
I think one thing we can take for the night is that I think what we've seen tonight is how St Johnstone will probably play at the weekend, whereas Rangers will be totally different. So I think that's one positive we can take, that we've maybe sussed them out or got a bit more familiar with what their setup's going to be, because they've not got the squad to change it. So we can take that.
It'll be interesting to see how young Ryan Kent gets on against the boy Rooney. I think he'll go by him as if he's not there. Rudy?
Oh, he's just a big cart horse, but I don't know. I mean, they talk him up sometimes, and I don't know why, because I never see anything in Rooney that I think I like, you know. He's just a big greeting-faced player, you know, he's a big boy, you know, and he's a big cart horse of a player. Ryan Kent will have him in toast at the weekend. He'll not be able to have. You saw Kent last weekend in the game against them, you know, the way he was playing. I thought Ryan Kent was excellent at the weekend. He'll is the way he'll be able to live with Kent. He'll blutter Kent a couple of times though, you know, try and impress on him, you know, try and keep him out the game. But that's all he'll be able to do. He'll not be able to, you know, come up against him and play football against him. He's no good at it. Kent's just too good for him. I can't wait to see Kent up against him, actually, you know. But it was just all in all, it was just a poor game. As I say, we'll see a different team at the weekend, a different performance as well, I would imagine, at home, you know. We'll get the usual boys back, you know, Rebo will be back for the start and all that. So, that is what it is, Ox. It's an end of season. It looked like an end of season training game. I thought the ref lost control a wee bit, because lots of these daft yellow cards, you know, some of them I didn't think were yellow cards at all. I thought he's just kind of losing the plot a wee bit here. You know, penalty, as we say, was never a penalty. Some of the yellow cards that the boys were picking up on both sides, I just thought were just stupid, niggly cards for nothing. He could have dealt with stuff a wee bit better. I don't know. Who's the ref on Sunday, Ox? Do you know?
No got a clue, mate. No got a clue.
No, but I think it was whoever.
I don't even know who the referee was in the night.
Ewan Anderson.
Ewan Anderson.
I know who he was, but I don't know if he was refereeing.
See, I think at the weekend and all, Ox, you know, I think it was Jamie who just said there, that's how they're going to play at the weekend. St Johnstone, they're not going to change. That's them, you know, that's how they play. Whereas we'll be different at the weekend. That's not the same team. No wonder Steven Gerrard had kind of a wry smile on his face at the end of the game, because he knows that team that were out there tonight, that's not the team that's going to be playing come the weekend, you know what I mean?
And Chris Kane will be doing the same, Rudy. Diving about the box.
Diving about the box like an idiot.
Should I give him his full name? Christopher Kane.
Christopher Kane. Aye, but you're right, he did a fair bit of that tonight, didn't he? No doubt we'll be back to that Sunday.
Wonder who Christopher's big team that he supports is.
Yeah.
I wonder. Aye, but look, we move on. It's a hard to critique again. I take you on board what you said, Andy, about Hadji, but I have got a wee bit of sympathy for him. I think you need to go back to the St Mirren game and that before he played. That seems a long time ago, doesn't it?
As long as that.
Pretty much, mate. Apart from that, he's only minutes. Did he start against Cove Rangers? He might have done, mate.
Well, he's got some. I'm always critical of sort. You don't want to jump on your players right enough, but he don't seem. I know, like you say, he hasn't played, but he don't seem to be progressing for me right enough. And you would think with the talent he's got, he should do. You know, that little bit guile to open up. Or I get that he's slight in frame late enough in Scottish football. You know, you get battered from pillar to post right enough, but. You know, you kind of pick up and you learn a wee bit, don't you, right now? By the way, the only good thing about tonight's game were the tunes in the background. I thought they were smashing.
Wouldn't it be hard? The big talking point in tonight's game, Jaffa will be the referee. That'd be the big talking point.
Ewan Anderson, aye. How many yellow cards did they give out tonight?
Oh,
about 6 or 7.
A quick check for you, mate, like you know. Exactly how many gave it. Let me see. St Johnstone Rangers. Where's the teams? The lineups. St Johnstone get 3 players booked. Kane, Rooney and McCart. And we had Simpson, Hadji, Kamara and Wright. To be fair, that Hadji and Wright, they're really ruthless players, aren't they?
Aye. They take you out as quick as look at you.
Scott Wright, there was an incident after he got booked, and the guy done pretty much similar, and he's like to him, and he's saying, well, if that was a booking, how's that not a booking? Just bizarre, Rudy.
I thought most of them were bizarre because I didn't see it as a bad game to watch. It wasn't a dirty game to watch. A couple of wee niggly things, one or two wee things that you might have thought that might have been bad. You're saying there's 7 bookings in that game. I don't think there was 7 bookings in the game at all. It was a pretty bizarre refereeing performance all round. They gave him a penalty. It was never a penalty, and the one that possibly was a penalty, he never gave them. So welcome to Scottish referee knocks. It's a lottery. It's a lottery with these refs. We know that. We've watched them long enough.
Bridge is on the phone to Amazon. He takes. You know how tight Bridge is. He goes to that Argos as often as he can just to get the pens. Right. So he's run out. Then his report for the night. So he's had to send out for more pens. Anyway. We've been joined by Amanda. Evening, Amanda.
Welcome to Rangers Lottery. That's what that was tonight, wasn't it? it was pick the referee that's going to cock the penalty up. That was just a bizarre decision tonight, wasn't it? I mean, the one he gave was more likely to be a penalty, and then the one he gave them later on was never a penalty. Oh, I don't know. I said to my dad, it's spot. I had to just decide, let's just give him a penalty to level it up. You know what I mean? It was almost as if he says, well, I've cocked it up and I'm going to make a decision that's going to level it. Anyway, it doesn't really cut much odds in the end of the day, the score of the night, does it? We're still...
Amanda,
yes.
Amanda, I don't know if you know, pal, but we are champions, so it doesn't really matter.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, at the end of the day, it cuts me odds. I've not been in a coma yet, In fact, my nephew got his 55 strip tonight. I was like, yes, son. Anyway, no, as I say, it doesn't make any odds at the end of the day to us, the score. I mean, we're well clear. We've won the league weeks ago. Let's move forward to Sunday now. See if we can get through to the next stage of the Cup. And that's it. Another season. It keeps on giving, isn't it?
That's exactly what it is. I mean, you could see what the manager thought. I mean, where his priorities lies, Jaffa.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the very fact that there was 7 changes in the team, I think, tells us all that, doesn't it? The way he was viewing it. I bet I'll get some guys some minutes into the legs, get Tavernier back on. Hopefully, we don't lose the game, which we didn't. Back down the road, we get a good look at them. We know how they're going to play, as Rudy and Jamie have just said. Gives you an up close and personal look. 4 days later, we play them with a different team. Once Kent and Morelos and the heavy team are back on, different game.
I think the players who get rested tonight deserved a rest as well. I think, you're looking at it in the big scheme of things and you're saying, well, the main priority is Sunday. Let's be honest. And you could see that in Stephen Gerrard's face at the end of the game. The grin he had in his chops. You know what I mean? You could tell at the end, hey ho, we're still unbeaten. We're still the champions. Do you know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, I'm quite happy with that. I'm quite pleased with that. I mean, you're going there and obviously there were changes in the team, but we still got a draw, didn't we? We still got a draw at the end of the day, and it still adds to our goals tally, doesn't it? You know what I mean, at the end of it. So, anyway, how are you all doing, guys? All right?
We're all right. We're all right. Rudy, we're all right, aren't we?
I'm all right. I'm all right, Amanda. I'm absolutely.
I'm good.
Tickety boo.
That's good. Good. Aye.
And I'm all right. I know. Sorry, Amanda. I couldn't get off of mute there.
Are you having a Bridgeman problem? Aye. I was going to say that. You turned into Bridgeman. But no, as I say, I'm quite happy with that tonight. We've had a season. It's been a fantastic season all on, and the only sad thing about it is we've not been able to see any in person, do you know what I mean? But again, things are moving in the right direction where that's concerned, and the time will come. But I would love to see how they're going to pick see once they start letting fans in, how are they going to pick the ones they're going to let in?
Oh, that'll lead to a rammy. That's going to lead to a rammy, that is.
A battle magnificent, won't it? Yeah. And they're only going to have 200 in the main stand, and then 100, and I tell you, if I've not got these crutches, I'll be fighting my way through the crowd to get there.
Yeah, man, I'm getting a lift there with Ox.
I seen a comment on the Facebook page for Rangers Radio the other night. Is that you ready for the Hummer with your new hairdo? I says, I'm ready. All I need to do now is get this knee done and I'm off.
The Hummer was 2 weeks ago.
I know. I'm a nightmare. I'm only kidding. But no, I think this has just been a fab season. It's just been an amazing season, hasn't it? And I just love being a Rangers fan.
We've never noticed that. We've never noticed that, how enthusiastic about our club, Andy.
Oh dear.
You there, Andy?
Aye. Oh, she's very shy, Amanda. very shy is Amanda. Come out yourself a wee bit more, and we'll be okay. We'll get you.
I'm shyer than George VK, that's for certain. He's shy in the Tyrant. I'm shy in the Tyrant compared to him. I don't need to see me cook a date cottage pie for my tea. I set myself behind dates. I swear. It's making me squeamish thinking about it.
Oh, some mess that.
I'll tell you exactly what's happened. That as Amanda said that, he's sitting on the recliner. He's hit it to get up to use his phone, and he's all over the place. Anyway, listen, I'll let you go and let more callers get in, but you're doing a great job on Rangers Radio again. Thanks for all the fun and laughter you bring to it, you know what I mean, and keep it going. As I say, we are the people in that, you know what I mean. So, cheers. Anyway, I'll let you go. Good night, guys. Bye.
Good night, Amanda.
Bye,
Amanda.
Bye.
What a lassy.
He's a case, isn't she?
Oh,
it's a whirlwind.
Chinatown. She doesn't draw breath. Oh dear. Oh, poor George VK, he's sitting listening to the show and he's on the recliner, isn't he?
Knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want me.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, good we're still laughing after watching that, Jamie.
I know, that's the thing. It's not even about the result or anything tonight, so it was just, like I say, a nothing game, but good to have a laugh about it afterwards anyway.
Amanda always makes us laugh, doesn't she?
And she's 100 mile an hour.
Oh, well, talking about people who are 100 mile an hour, been joined by Jim from Paisley. Evening, James.
How you doing, guys?
Evening,
Jim.
How you doing? It's been a hell of a couple of days for me. It's hell of a couple of days. If some of the football we've watched here, I'd Ranger. I get invited out to a party on Sunday for the Glasgow Derby game, as I like to call it now.
The Glasgow Derby. Sean, it's the Glasgow Derby.
Yeah, the Glasgow Derby. That's what I like to call it. But I didn't go to that party because I'm a bad. I don't like going to parties with football. You know, you didn't know who was going to be there, right? So, but this guy phoned me up and said, "No, it's a tin-free zone." I said, "Well, you don't know who's going to come. I'll just sit myself." Come for a suit, comes out to my door. One of my wee pals, he's not invited anyway. He comes to me. He's a wee salesman. But you watched the game with me, right? So I'm gonna just win 2-1, right? So this guy, that's right. I'm lumped on 2-1, right? So still to get the penalty. I said, "Oh, nice one, right?" That's wee baby. He's sitting. He goes, "He'll miss." I said, "Don't you start? He better not miss." He did miss it, obviously, right? So that's that line gubbed. I've got to win the night with right to score, right? And then this easy geezer. I couldn't be doing this refereeing decisions tonight. This guy was all over the place, was he? No, with penalty, no apparently. Right?
One of the worst performances I've ever seen, mate. Honestly.
Right.
Imagine him trying to roll a Tousey game.
I couldn't get my head around that. What's this guy all about? I'm saying, this is another big line that's up in the air, you know? Gutted. 4 days. Okay, we're still top of the league. We've won they've no here. And I turned out of there. I was going to back Aberdeen and play. Thank God I didn't, because they scored in the last kick of the ball of the night.
It's terrible that our whole season's turned tonight. It's been a disaster.
It's an absolute
catastrophe.
They still got 3 games in hand, though, Jim.
Can't get my head around it. Can't hear Gutted.
Still got 3 games in hand. Aye, 2 of them's against us.
By the way, I can't wait to Sunday. I bet we hammer them with 5 or 6 nothing on Sunday afternoon. What's going on here? I bet we hump them on Sunday big time.
Aye. I don't see an issue. I really don't. Jamie?
Aye, big hitters will be back. Been really impressed with Kent lately. So, I think somebody else was saying about Skin and Rooney. I think we'll be comfortable on Sunday.
I think we've been joined by Denver. Evening, Denver. No, he's not there. He was there, but he's popped out.
See, one thing, Ox.
Yes,
one thing. See that young lad that went off at the start for them. Guy, he's an Israeli player. Guy Melamed. Young boy that was playing up front.
Did he? Was that the free kick? Did he get hit in the side of the head with the ball?
No, I think he was hobbling. It was a leg injury, but I reckon he's going to. He scored 3 goals for them in the last couple of games. And they reckon he'll be out for Sunday. So if there's a plus to be had tonight, there's your plus.
The big plus.
He looked as if he went off shaking his head, as if he had some kind of head injury. That boy went after, you know.
He was the only one shaking his head tonight.
Here. I've been shaking my head for 4 days.
You know, Andy.
Oh, I've never seen it. I mean, we keep going on about referees in the past, but he's a clever. I just don't know what he was about there. I mean, even when he blew, I didn't even think he was going to get a penalty. And I said, "Oh no, he won." Right,
Bridge is on his 4th quill.
Did anybody clock the Kamara incident there with that guy there? He looked quite animated there. Did you see that in the game?
Kamara stood up to him and didn't like it. I think Denver's ways.
Hi, how are you doing, guys?
All right, Denver. What have you? You've been a hard man to get in. You've been in out, yeah?
I'm in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains here. We get rubbish service, you know. What I'm thinking, guys, is you maybe need to review your sales technique. I've not got to see this game yet, and you're telling me it's not worth watching.
Listen, Denver.
90 minutes of his life, he's not going to get back again.
Denver, if you're going to sit and watch that, I admire you for your loyalty.
Loyalty was my only crime up. Loyalty was my only crime.
Get yourself some Valium, Denver. That'll get you through it.
I've got some single malt scotch. I'm waiting. We're in the snow. I'm in a snow globe and it's snowing like a mad thing here right now. So
if you watch it in your bed, Denver, you'll get a right good chip.
Okay. Aye, remember, review your sales technique, my boy.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, mate.
Did Patterson or Tav play tonight? Who was playing?
Both of them played, Dev. Tav started, looked, in my opinion, about 40% fit.
Aye.
And went off after 60 minutes. And by the way, did anybody notice Tav's boots in the first half? Did anybody clock them?
I've never noticed them, no.
Denver, I'll not spoil it for Denver. I think that was a highlight in the first half, Tav's boots.
Aye, 101 sales technique. Right, guys, I'm going to have to dash because I've got keep wheels of industry turning. So all the best, guys. Take care.
Cheers, mate. Cheers. Take care. Bye. Listen, lads, get yourself a mute. We're going to have a tune.
Every Saturday we follow, we cheer the boys in blue, the most successful team in football. We're Scotland's gallant few, though at times they have been hard. We're followed near and far. You will always hear us roaring from the stands in Ibrox Park.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
That was a highlight of my Rangers night.
That's a great tune, that Oxen. It done it really well. So they have.
Is Mrs. Rudy had a go at it?
Not yet, but I'm sure she will at some point. Sure she will.
I'm sure she will. Sure she will.
I like the video. It goes along with T-Ox. I have to say, I saw it.
30 seconds in, Big Stevie for drum. That's how it's now in 18, mate.
I have to say, it made the hair stand up the back of my neck the first time I saw it. I thought it was brilliant.
Me too, Rudy. It does that to you, doesn't it? It's electric.
Certainly does, Jaffa.
Just to let everybody know, Big Stevie is alive. He has recovered for Sunday. Remember, today's Wednesday. So he's done all right.
Just the 4 days, Ox. Just the 4.
Aye. An old man trying to play a young man's game, but he has a right good go at it.
Here, Ox, I've got a question.
Yes, James.
Question for the guys here. What are we going to do with Roof and Itten? What are we going to do with these two guys? Because they two guys this evening were not at it. I couldn't see anything from any of the two of them.
You mean tonight or over the piece?
Tonight? Okay. Especially tonight. Over the piece too. You know, I don't see it. I don't think they've got anything they can offer us.
I would have gave Itten 5 out of 10, and I'd have gave Roof 4.5 out of 10. There you go.
A garbage, me too.
That's what I think. But I'm trying, but I can put some of that down to the fact that they've not had full 90 minutes and they've not played. Roof's had a bit more time in it, and Jaffa.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with the guys. I mean, you want to see some more, don't you? You just want to see a bit more from them when they get their opportunity. Ruth, he's been in and out. He's had a couple of where he started to look as though he was hitting form, in particular the European front. And then he got an injury again in the calf and he was back out again. Eton, I really want to like him. I don't know, the big guy looks, you hear all the right good things about out of training. He doesn't complain. He doesn't, he doesn't go chapping the manager's door. He just does what he's told to do and gets his head down. He's a great pro. I don't know.
Yeah, but does anybody know where their best positions are, where they're better playing? There's one there with Morelos and one without Morelos. They definitely didn't work. The two of them didn't seem to work for me tonight.
For me, at the moment, they don't look as if they fit into your system. But I'll tell you, it'll be interesting to see what the gaffer's got to say, Rudy.
It's, I don't know about you guys, but see, when I watch it, I think he seems to.
Rudy, I'll try that again, Rudy.
What's that?
Right. It'll be interesting to see what the gaffer's got to say, Rudy.
Aye, all right. For the
Rudy, you're not listening.
Right, I'll try again. Right. Jaffa. It would be interesting to see what the gaffer had to say.
Let's hear for the Jaffa. The gaffer. Let's hear for the Jaffa. The gaffer.
Last chance. I never thought I'd say this. Get Amanda back on, Fox. Right, we'll go again. Andy for Leeds. Would it be good to hear what the gaffer's got to say on the match?
That would be fantastic, because I think he would give us an insight to what he thinks.
Get yourself in mute and let's hear for your manager.
Stephen, how are you looking back on what we saw tonight? Well, we'll take the point and we'll move on. Coming here tonight, you could tell clearly with my decisions before the game, during the game, and at the very end of the game was all about the weekend. Wanted to give people an opportunity tonight, and we nearly took maximum points by not playing well. So we've got no complaints in terms of the results. It's a shame that we didn't see the game out. I think we made some poor decisions in the final moment of the game. But I think all in all, we'll take the point and move on. It was a penalty. Probably lucky not to concede another. So I think probably our keeper's been a little bit busier than theirs, so we've got no complaints. In terms of positives, great to see Scott Wright, one of the guys who brought in tonight, grabbing his first goal for the club.
Yeah, the main positives tonight was about getting to have some minutes and up to speed, so he's ready for the weekend. Given some players opportunities who've been around the squad, so they're ready if called upon at the weekend. Scott Wright has done everything he needs to do since he's come in the door. He scored tonight. He showed flashes tonight throughout his performance. But again, we've been talking to him about getting numbers in his game, and he's got one. Should have been the winner. It would have been, better in our game management and seeing the game out. So it's disappointing and it's a shame that we haven't took 3 points. But all in all, over the course of the 90 minutes, we've got no complaints with the scoreline.
As you say, everything geared towards Sunday night. How do you look ahead to that game?
Well, every decision I made since Celtic, even subs tonight, I made decisions for the weekend rather than what the game needed tonight. My team selection was more about what the weekend needed rather than tonight. So all in all, I'm content, I'm satisfied. We've got everyone healthy, fresh for the weekend and looking forward to it, and the weekend was always the priority. As soon as Celtic finished, I was more interested in St Johnstone at the weekend than tonight. It was about just dealing with tonight, and a lot of the decisions, if not all of them, were geared for the weekend.
Did you enjoy that, Rudy?
I certainly did. It was probably the right thing for you to do at the right time, wasn't it? Yeah.
Right, but you go back to your original point, yeah?
You can, but I don't even know what my original point was, but you can hear for the manager though that he's not that fussed about the night, is he? I mean, the hard work's been done, all the spade work's been done as far as the league's concerned, and he's telling.
I hear Rudy, that's all right for him. He didn't have a line on, did he?
Or stuck in the Rocky Mountains.
You're right, Jim. You're right. But
Denver's going to get him and watch that.
Plus he digs his sailor at a snowbank.
It might be as well to do that. But he's telling you, the manager's telling you it was the too fussed about the night out. You know what I mean? Undefeated, you know, it's one each draw. I can't understand why he's saying that was a penalty, because that was never a penalty.
You must have seen it from a different angle. By the way, you think you've seen the worst refereeing the night? It wasn't the worst refereeing decision. It's kicking about on social media. Willie Collum chose not to give the boy Turnbull a red card. That's the worst. Wait and you see it. Unbelievable. Right, okay. Where are we? The gaffer.
Ox, can I say something else?
Yes,
how long are you on for? I thought we had 2 pluses tonight for the guys in fringe. Like, was Scott Wright, and I felt the big boy Simpson in the back. I think he looked comfortable in that position in the back foot.
I think
good evening.
And had the boy McLaughlin into that as well, Jimmy.
I like to look at Simpson. He looked very good. Man.
I'm glad Lee Wallace wasn't still playing for us, because that would have been Wallace Simpson at the back, wouldn't it? And we couldn't have that in our team. Anyway, we've been joined by William from Ballymena. How are we doing, William?
Good evening, everybody. I am not too bad. Cheers. What about yourself?
Good, mate.
Evening, William.
All right, William. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you.
Cheer us up, mate.
Well, I don't know how to do that, but I'll give it a go.
Right.
I was a bit uninspiring tonight. I thought in the first half, the only one that was really champing at the bit to get going and try and make something happen was Scott Wright. But thought we were poor, but I'm going to be honest, I thought it's not so much that we were poor. I thought St Johnstone played well. They weren't going to just let us take possession like a lot of teams would do. I thought they were, a lot of good passing. And that system they were playing worked for them, and they were trying to have a go at us.
It wasn't Motherwell sitting with everybody behind the ball, was it?
No, they were trying to have a go, and it was working for them. I think with all the changes, it was maybe taking our team a wee while to sort of get used to things and get going. But look, that team, it doesn't matter which players are fielded. Over the course of a season, we all need to be able to play together, and that team should have been good enough. So making excuses and saying, oh, well, shouldn't have started him or whatever, they should have been good enough to play together. It doesn't matter if you field our weakest team, they should all be good enough.
Jaffa?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, obviously the only thing, William, is you saw that Tav was well off the pace, but the most important thing is Steven Gerrard, our manager, has just said there, it was getting him some minutes on the park, because obviously I suspect that we're still expecting Nathan Patterson maybe not to be available on Sunday, so that was the way I saw that, the way he was talking there. But yeah, we're still some of our players that were on tonight can do a lot better than what they've done tonight. There's no two ways about
that. I'd agree with that. I think Davis had a really good game defensively. I think, he protected Tav well, tidied up for him a lot, and Tav was obviously a wee bit tentative tonight and a wee bit cautious. He wasn't bombing forward as much, so he was obviously mindful of his fitness and the fact that he's just coming back from an injury. So I think that was to be expected, but I thought Davis was very good defensively, tidying up for him, and I also thought that Aribo has added a lot to his game now. I thought defensively he was doing a lot of tidying up and some important touches, reclaiming possession, and that was good to see, because I think previously he's maybe been inconsistent at times, and we know how much skill he has, and we've seen on Sunday what he can offer going forward and in an attacking sense. But I thought tonight when Aribo came on, he was very, very good and put a lot of effort in defensively, so I was pleased to see that he's adding to his game.
He done well. He highlighted the game for me when he dragged it round three of them, William, yeah?
Oh yeah, like it's obvious that he can do that, and it's just, I think with a lot of creative players and I suppose wide players, consistency is always an issue. But he's a talented individual. I can't remember which player it was, but one of those like Rangers mind questions, there was a player asked, who's the most skillful in training, and they said Arable. But I thought it was good tonight to see that he's starting to add a wee bit more to his game now. And I think Itten was getting a lot of criticism tonight, a bit unfairly. I don't think he was getting a lot of service, and his figures when he was at St Gallen, he's never going to come to Rangers and replicate those huge numbers. We play a different system and a different style of football. We've seen this season we play a very passing game and almost too patient at times. And I do think there is something there with it, and I think he's good. His hold-up play is good. He tries hard. So I was glad he didn't get hooked at half-time. I don't know, I just think he maybe get a bit of criticism, too much criticism unfairly tonight, but...
Ox, can I have a point about that? Yeah. I've just remembered what my point was I was going to make about it. You know what it was? I see, when I watch it, I think he lacks a bit of pace, Ox. He's a big lad, but he always looks like he's pulling a caravan when he's running to me, and I think that kind of detracts a wee bit. I don't doubt for a minute that the boy's got some talent, but I think he lacks pace. So he does. And a couple of times a night as well, I thought, he'd be having a foot race for the ball, one of the St Johnstone players, and he just looks slow at times, Ox, unfortunately. I think if you're just going to play him as a penalty box centre forward, maybe because he's big and he's strong, he's pretty good at holding players off and stuff like that. It's his pace, I think, lets him down a wee bit, Ox.
I get that, but sometimes his touch is very poor for me. But I wouldn't criticise him for that tonight, because I said he's hardly kicked the ball.
I know.
Jaffa, then Andy.
Yep, my sentiments precisely, Ox. I think the big guy needs. I don't think you could judge him unless you got him a run in the team, 5 or 6, 8 games, and then see where the lad is. I mean, I tell you what, those few finishes he had earlier on in the season when he was playing Motherwell, when we were playing Motherwell, they were some of the best of the season. They were brilliant.
Andy?
Yeah, I totally agree. I've said myself, I think he's got something. I mean, I did read somewhere at the start of the season that he, when he came into the Scottish game, that he felt like he had to bulk up a wee bit and he had to get a lot quicker. But you're not going to get quicker if you're not getting game time, are you? So it's pretty hard to judge at the moment, right enough. He has something that I think the lads are right at the moment. And, it does look like he is not up with pace of Scottish football at the minute, right enough. But again, I will come down to it has to be game time that gets him there to that. Or going and do some extra training or some running or whatever they do these days, and see where we're at, brings it on for him, right enough. I think he'll be there next season. I think he'll get a shot early doors, right enough. But we'll just have to wait and see. It's a shame for that lad, because I think he can score goals in the right position. I think he'll score his goals, right enough. But it's getting him into the right positions to do that. What we're wanting him as a Rangers player, isn't it?
Yeah, except your defence, I understand William about his lack of game time, but I don't see him at the front. I don't see how he's going to force his way into a front three regularly.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Can I say something here?
Yes, mate.
I do think he's good enough. It's as simple as that. I know the boys, we like to see people that sign for Rangers doing well. I do think the stuff's there with him. I can't see, but he's been on. If we give him chances, he had a chance in the up at Perth. He didn't do totally squat tonight. He couldn't stop. He could. Right.
I was
garbage, actually. I would get a house for him. And the jury's still out with Roof for me as well, Oxshire. I don't see the stuff. I'm not sure, but maybe I hope I'm proved wrong. I know the guys are all sticking. Listen, I love to stick up for. If you put that blue shirt on, you're good enough for me. But sometimes you go a step back and look at them and say, "Nah, no for me."
We've been joined by Alex Kelly. Evening, Alex.
Good evening, Ox, and good evening, panel. How are we doing, boys?
Hi, Alex.
Good evening.
Hi, Alex.
Going to hurry up.
Aye, sure.
That game's been re-showed in 10 minutes. I don't want to miss any of it.
Oh, listen, tonight was all about just getting in and out, basically, with still keeping our unbeaten record intact. The manager's basically said that in his post-match interview. He's gave a lot of the fringe players, so to speak, some much-needed game time tonight. Been a wee bit loyal to the rest of the squad, because basically the job's been done in the league, so I don't know why everybody's moan. We've done the league. It's over. You know,
did you have a line on?
Records.
Don't start him, Alan. Don't start him.
we look forward to the cup now and getting another bit of silverware. But it's got to be, seen to be giving the fringe players the kind of game time. Otherwise, what's the point of having a squad?
But Jim had draw half time, Rangers full time, right to score the first goal, and McLaughlin to keep a clean sheet.
32-1.
Yeah, but McLaughlin lost his clean sheet, right? That's the first goal he's lost in 12 games last year.
He's got some record, that boy, some record. I get your point, Alec, but we couldn't come on here and said we played well, could we?
No, listen, I accept that and appreciate that. You've got to critique the match per game, but unfortunately when you're using a lot of kind of rusty players, you're going to get a rusty performance. But the shining light for me tonight, again, Scott Wright. That's twice his last two starts has been man of the match. I think he'll revert back to the same team that started against Celtic, but I think Wright is pushing to get a start there, and I think that's how you've seen Aribo come on as bright as what he does, because it's his position that he's after.
William, what did you think of Scott Wright, mate?
I think it's fantastic. I only put 9 people on my team last night. He was meant to be in it. I forgot to put him in. But I think he's brilliant. And I think there's a lot of good things to come from him. And I know Gerrard will probably not go with it, but I would love to see Kent and Wright together, just to see what they could really do to defences. He's exciting.
William.
Yes.
Sorry,
hello.
I was going to say you get away with just naming 9 players last night because you were wearing a balaclava at the time.
I know, I was wearing a balaclava and Ballymackinnon in Spain last night.
Bella Medina.
Bella Medina. You know where Oxford's gone for a pint.
It was to keep all the mosquitoes away from the rioters.
Yes.
Oh dear. That was that Fox. He can't spell.
Bella Medina.
Yeah. I think dyslexia is a disability now, so I can't say too much, but you can't spell with Fox.
Am I right in saying that St Johnstone play 3 at the back? Is that correct? Is that how they set up tonight? Is that how they set up normally?
Aye, usually play with 3 at the back, Jaffa.
Aye, I mean, Morelos must be sitting there. He must have been dancing on the stone tonight.
He'll have been itching to go on there.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 at the back.
We've already discussed him, Rudy, itching.
Yeah, Rudy.
Aye.
Yeah, Rudy. Is that the first goal that they scored against us this season?
Yes.
Aye. That's it. That's 4th game, first goal. Yeah.
I know. See that? Well, I'm biting my tongue. I would love to swear and shout.
Right, wait a minute, lads. Right, somebody start a GoFundMe page for Jim for Paisley.
We'll get it back Sunday, Ox. Don't worry about
it. Remember that one at Ox a few weeks back? The boy that phoned in and he was raging. It was just after we won the league. What was that one up again? He was going crazy. He's cooking. Yeah.
Tucker.
Tucker. He was going mental, wasn't he?
I wonder. We're on the same boat here. Come on. Don't get us wrong, we've won a few quid this season, but when you lose it, you're...
This has badly affected you, this result, Jim, hasn't it?
Oh, no, it's not. It's for Sunday. It's from Sunday to Wednesday. 2-1 on Sunday. That Egypt missed that penalty. Then this referee the night. I'm happy you beat 2-1 on Sunday. We're all over them. There was no danger. No, it was still through that game, wasn't it? Saying we didn't move into third, fourth gear. No, so I'll give them a penalty. Lovely. That wee prick is sitting with that wee Tim sitting with his fucking cat. Oh, sorry. I know. Anyway, I get past anyway.
What you're telling us, you'd have been happier if Edward would have scored and that guy would have missed the night.
Absolutely. Yeah. Eddie, here. There's only one Eddie at Park. He just said they're not starting that new manager. He can't go there. His name's Eddie, I know.
You know what they say, Jim, you can't help bad luck.
Right. And the best of that, Jim, been after a bit of start back with work tomorrow night. That's even worse.
No, he put too fine a point in it, Jim. I was quite happy when Edward missed that penalty. I know how that was.
You must have been on the Blue Nose, Jim. It was the jumping about. You must have been on the Blue Nose. It was the jumping about when he missed it.
That's how better sit myself. I better sit myself watching the game.
That's why you never went to that party, Jim, wasn't it?
Aye, absolutely. Aye. End up wrecking the place. He's all getting back again.
Never a dull moment on here, William.
Oh, it's good crack. I'm still finding my feet, so I'm just listening and learning as to what I can and can't say. So,
who's the best man to follow? I think George VK is the man to follow.
Basically, you want to know how to cook a shepherd's pie, George will tell.
If he invites you in for a shepherd's pie, William, on your head beer.
I think Amanda was angling for a bit of George's shepherd's pie.
Yeah. I was that comfortable on Sunday. I didn't put my watch on to the Monday.
So at least George knows that Amanda's low maintenance, if she was quite happy with that game tonight.
Well. Right, I've just been red carded. Where are we? Right. We're not too disappointed, we're laughing and joking. Big game Sunday. Andy.
Yeah, well, to get the right team out, come with the right attitude. I think what he's just said there, I know is more or less, he was although that game was there, he was actually looking for something and what he was going to do. So I think we'll come out, play to our potential, hopefully get a couple of quick goals and then go on and score a few goals as the game goes along. And then wait for who we're going to get in the semi-final, hopefully. I'd like it to be us against the mini filth in the final, to be honest with you. I think there's a lot of wrongs we want to put right against them. So that would be my ideal final for that, get them in the final and sort them out, I mean, a lot of bad stuff went on there that day. They got away with murder and we caved in, didn't we, in the last couple of minutes? So, albeit it's a totally different team, right enough, but that would be my ideal final. Get them there and sort them out. Get that leg to rest, if you get what I mean. And then it's get the double, and then it'll be the 12th that'll follow it, won't it? So it's going to be quite a good ending to the season if that all goes that well. So I'll take that.
That's what it's all about now. Jamie?
It is all about the Scottish Cup. And I think with the manager's assessment there, that was spot on. He took 2 opportunities to have a dig at our decision making, but that was the only thing that he said rang about a performance tonight. See what I was wanting to raise. I know we're looking forward to the weekend, right? But see with Rangers, since Gerrard's come in, I've only seen us play one style, one formation. There was a period when Defoe came in where we tried to change it with Morelos and Defoe up front and try and get a partnership. But the guys have raised earlier, with Itten and Roof, where do we see these guys? Are we trying to shoehorn players into positions to fit our system? And is it like having a negative effect on certain individuals within our team? Like Hadji, I did want him to play in the midfield the day, but he's not a centre mid. He's a number 10 and behind probably one or two strikers. And I wonder if going into next season, should we look at trying to have at least two systems just to mix it up in case it's not working for us? And can we get the best out of these players that haven't quite hit the heights through changing a system and doing an alternative system?
You'll get bad for here, mate. That's too much common sense for this show. Really good points there, Jimmy.
I'll do you, will it?
Hadji, you're breaking up there, Jim.
That's what I'm saying. I'm in the Oaks here, boy. Here, Hadji will no day for me either. Actually, I'm sorry about that, guys that's listening. But Hadji, Itten, Roof, no, they'll know.
I think Hadji will be away in the summer, Jim.
I've got me too. Aye.
I think he'll be away.
He's taking my wage that we could do without. We could maybe, I don't know. I don't know, but you don't know them. We're not walking how every other day watching what's going on there. But, well, I wonder what the guys think about. See the French player that turned out tonight. You think Emma's got a chance to play on Sunday?
The only one I said was right, Jim. I thought right was maybe in me a shout.
Yeah.
Right. But you can't play right and Kent together, can you? I don't think, would they fit in the same team? I was wondering, do they fit in the same team?
I'd love to.
Does Aribo
some front line? Not after Sunday's performance, Alex. No,
100%. I'd agree with you. I think he goes with the same team as he played against Celtic, right. but Wright's, edge in there. But I disagree with you about Roof and that, Jim. But I agree with you with Hadji. Hadji isn't a date for me.
No, aye. The jury's. I think the jury's been out for a long time. Hadji, I think we've suffered him for about 6 or 7 months. He's been a bad player coming on. Maybe shows something, that guy. Maybe no in our team. But
he shows flashes of class, but no enough, and very few.
Absolutely, I agree with that. I would not disagree with that.
Yeah,
you're correct.
I get what William's saying.
I like Hadji. Og's a big Hadji fan. He's got a poster in his bedroom above his bed. Hadji,
one of my all-time favourites, mate. One of my all-time favourites. I get what I think William's saying, because Roof and Ditton look as if they would play in a 2. But we want more guys to go wide and inside and be flexible. And they don't look the type of players, but they've got pluses at them. They scored some good goals for us. And Roof is a natural finisher if he gave him a chance. But I think the way we play the system we play, William, he's expecting more for the players. They've got to be all-rounders, if that makes sense.
Oh, sure. I think the coaching staff is open to adapting the team to different formations, because otherwise why would Gary Mack suggest that Patterson and Tavernier could play in the same team? So I think they're evolving as a management team, a coaching team, as well as the actual players evolving as a team. So it's a kind of learning the job process, if you want.
I think if we were playing like a say, for example, a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-1-2 system, 2 guys up front. But I mean, what would you do if you were playing 2 guys like Itten and Roof up front? What would you do with Ryan Kent, for example, or Joe Aribo? They wouldn't play in the centre. They don't play that role. Not unless, of course, they're asked to do that. But I just don't see how Stephen Davis, Glenn Kamara, Joe Aribo and Ryan Kent could all play along in a five across the middle of the park. Not with the kind of with the attacking proneness that those guys have got. So I think the personnel that we have at the moment, obviously Stevie Gerrard likes playing a 4-3-3, and I think Stevie Gerrard always liked playing in a 4-3-3 as well, didn't he? As a centre mid, that was always his preferred formation.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I think that the only positions that are kind of rigid in the team is your two centre backs, Davis and Kamara, your two holding, and Morelos up top, and see everybody else. It's basically a free roll they get because they don't hold their positions and they just look.
Alex.
Yeah. So
that's why they do that rotation all the time that Gerrard keeps doing, and you see it in the training videos where they're. 1 minute you'll see Ryan Kent, he'll be up in the right wing. Next minute he'll be in the left back position.
Yep.
Whereas Chico's rigid.
Yeah, we always fancy Big Joe further forward rather than sitting back. Big Joe, but I like him playing more forward, and if like number 10, does that make sense? I like to see Big Joe Aribo playing further forward. I don't like to see him playing midfield, like a rigid 3.
The position he played at the weekend, Jim's perfect position for Joe Aribo.
Aye,
that's
absolutely.
Where he should be playing. You saw that at the weekend. That's him.
Jim, Diego Laxalt would rather he played left back or right back as well.
He likes it.
He's still wondering about Copeland Road.
Bigger he was retired him on Sunday.
Yeah, he's only I look for his ticket to get back in, surely, you know.
You think they get their money back in poster sales for that boy? But I'd be interested to see. Listen, when our squad and team's going to evolve, we're not going to stand still, William. There's going to be changes. People will come, people will go.
It'll be interesting to see, especially, I think it'll not just be rebuilding for next season. I think it'll potentially be rebuilding for the next couple of seasons, because you have players like Arfield and other players, that are sort of getting a bit older now, and I don't think Ross Wilson and Gerrard and that will want to have to rebuild every season. So potentially we could be looking a couple of years ahead, because I think primarily this year it'll just be about adding quality as opposed to changing too much. So it'll be interesting to see.
That's very true, because if you think of Boy Simpson, the boy 6 months ago, it was his debut, right? I think didn't look at a place. He looks like a centre back. I'll do for me. He looks apart. And then the boy for Aberdeen, Scott. But they're fantastic. They're doing a fantastic job at the recruiting. We might not see him for 6 months or so. When they see if they get them in now, then pre-season, give a fantastic season next year for us again.
Here, mate. Here. But you've always got to evolve, Alex.
100%. It's that the gaffer is basically, that's his strategy going forward. Never rest on your laurels. Always look to improve. Always look for the next target, the next game. Once that game's done, that's it, put to bed. His focus is on the next game after that. And obviously we've got a trophy here to win. We've got a brilliant chance now to win a double. We're up against the other team who's also won a domestic trophy this year. But tonight gave us the opportunity to have a right good look at them and see possible weaknesses in their team. We go out there with the right attitude, the right team. I've got absolutely no problem that we'll beat them in Sunday and progress into the semis and hopefully further after that.
Me too.
Okay, yeah, Rudy.
Aye, Alex, right. I think if we start with pace at the weekend, there's no way they're going to be able to live with like Kent and Aribo starting, because Kent and Aribo will start, my opinion, at the weekend and Sunday. And Morelos will be back in again. The way they three play up front, I can't remember who it was now, but recently, just a few weeks ago, somebody was talking about the rotation up front with the front three, the way they move, and 1 minute they're there, next minute they're on the other side of the park, and then try to keep up with them, try to keep tabs on where they are and stuff like that. It's just an absolute nightmare. It was a manager at one of the teams that we played in the last few weeks. I just can't remember who it was. But I mean, we play like the way we can play on Sunday. The way we can play. There's only going to be one result, Ox,
It was John Hughes who said that, was it not?
John Hughes, that's who it was. You're right, Jim. It was John Hughes. He said it was just, the movement up front was just phenomenal for Rangers then, and the way they closed players down at the back, when they were trying. Because John likes his teams to play good football. He's always been like that, John Hughes, So you've got to have a bit of respect for John Hughes when he talks about stuff like that, because he really does like his teams to play proper football. And he said that. He said the movement, the closing down, everything about Rangers. He says other teams should be looking at Rangers and thinking that's how you play football. And he was right. And if we play like that on Sunday, what you saw from St Johnstone tonight, that's them. They don't get any better than that. That's as good as they're ever going to be, But we were far, far, far off our best tonight. And if we play the way we can play, St Johnstone will be able to live with us at the weekend.
Oh, I'm going for 3-0. I worry for the bet on it, so I'll go for 3-0.
Where's your lesson, Jim?
Do not back that one. We'll get a penalty in the last minute, I said.
Oh dear. What a man. Well, we move on, Andy. We move on to Sunday. 3-0 to score. Jim's put his mark up, and doesn't matter as long as we get through it.
Yeah, I'm fancying 4 myself there on Sunday. Saturday.
Sunday.
I'm going for 4. But I always offset mine when they come in. I go like 4. If I go like 4, I'll go 4-0, 4-1, 4-2. So and then the odds get bigger. I've not won many like this season, right enough. That probably tells you why, right enough. But
your son-in-law's loaded, though. Your son-in-law's loaded.
I know.
You know, do I hear something funny? Yeah, did I tell you something funny? I'll tell you something funny. See the weekend there. The wee Tim was on there. I turned it out. I've got to bet the Scottish Grand National at the 3:35. Right, I turned it out. My horse stowed it, right. 1 about 4 or 5 lengths, right. Turned it back out. I said, "Fucking what?" I was in the kitchen. He's like, "Here's 1-0 for Rangers, you fucking orange orange person, right?"
Lot effect.
I was like, who scored? Would they sit with you all the time? What a goal. Overheat kick. What age is that guy? 36. Yeah. I was 4.5 cubs at 36.
I'm sure you scored a few overheat kicks to the racecourse ground there.
The racecourse, you got that bridge. The new pitches on the bridge. There's plenty of goals, Scored a goal there one day. The referee gave us a bad kick. I said, "What's happened with you?" They went through the hole in the net. Good old days, old amateur days, You didn't know you were getting, did you know?
Some of the referees were better than that referee tonight, right?
I wouldn't have any hard to do.
No, Jeffrey, wouldn't they, would it?
No, he was brutal.
Aye. But well, listen, we just take our medicine tonight and we move on. It's good that everybody's laughing. And we always laugh when Jim Paisley comes in right enough for the day.
It's still 20 points in front, Ox.
And if we left that, Scott at the end of this, If we lift the Scottish Cup at the end of the season, Ox, this will no matter tonight. You know, we won't even think about this again. No. You know, we'll just we'll celebrate, you know, lifting in a bit of silverware, a double season. That's all that'll matter, really, you know.
Aye. I'll tell you one thing, Ox, he'll not make the mistake he made against St Mirren. Changed his team. See what we did tonight, this evening game. He won't do that on Sunday. Because we're going to get through the next round. We're not going through that League Cup carry on at Paisley, where I stay, right? Love Saver, they call it now. And we're not doing that again.
No, I think he's learning. He's always learning. Andy?
Yeah, I think you know that's what he is. He's very clever and he's very savvy. He knows what he's going to do there with that team. I think he's like the guy said earlier on there. I think he's a 2-year plan. He's looking on there. You know, he'll bring in bigger quality, as we've said many times. We're our own fans' favourites, no matter whether it's, you know, Davis or Jack or anybody like that. They'll be moved on if he feels that the guys that can come into Rangers will take us to the next level. And he will, you know, in his time that he stays there at Rangers, I'm convinced he'll get us to a level that we're very good. I think we're at Euro 16. We're at 16, you know, around about the last 16 level now. The test is if we qualify for the Champions League, because you can be in their games all night. I think you're getting a draw and it takes 1 minute with 1 second with their guys and you've lost the game. So we're going to have to see what level we are there. It would be great if we could get into the groups, maybe win a couple of them, get a couple of them in it. We would have been involved again. I think we're going to be all right. I mean, it's good. I mean, strange times are up, you know, with the money, and I think there'll be bargains out there, as I said before, like with the COVID, because I think this season coming after this one, you know, there are a lot of clubs that are going to feel the pinch and they're going to be in trouble. So there will be quality players out there that possibly big clubs can't afford, and they might just want to come to the Rangers when they see what we are. We're now a championship winning team, and hopefully we're going to progress and dominate for the next 3 or 4 years in Scotland, and also push even further on in Europe. That would be fantastic for what we've been through, you know, to where we are now. It's night and day. And like I said, all the time I've been on this show, that's the calmest I've ever known that when we drew and play like that. So that shows you how far we've come in the time I've been listening to the show. Do you get what I mean?
It's very true, because it was pretty much a bounce match, wasn't it?
Aye, definitely. No doubt about it. I mean, he wasn't... Look, our Rangers ever go out to lose a game or bothered. But, I mean, he said, didn't he? You know, it was there what he said. He said what he said before we listened to him. That, you know, he was looking at things there, what he wanted to do for Sunday. And it was all about Sunday. And the luxury of that is that, the league was well and truly done. And we know what the end of it. It's going to look fantastic if it's a double. You know, get that old lady Scottish Cup back. Also has a bit of mystique for me. That I used to love coming up for their games. There's always something about it. Usually big packed grounds, whether we're home or away. So, yeah, come on, let's get that cup. That'd be beautiful. See they two sat at the mantelpiece at the end of the season. I'm feeling it. I'm sure you are, boys, as well.
That's what matters. William, that's what matters. Winning this cup now.
Absolutely, and I think just tonight we were a bit wasteful and didn't, again in Itten's defence, there wasn't a lot of service going on tonight, but I think a lot of that had to do, with Tav not being fit and trying to protect himself perhaps, but I don't think that'll be a problem come the weekend. I think if we revert back to Sunday starting 11 against them lot, I think we'll just go back about our business the way we had been, and I don't think that'll be as much of a problem, and I think there'll be a lot more service and better delivery. Just wasn't up to scratch tonight, but look, as has already been said, we move on, and I don't think it'll be a big problem come the weekend.
Here, William, I'm going to ask you something. See come Sunday, do you think he'll do the same we did this evening? Start with Tav and finish with Patterson? I don't
know if he'll have that choice to make. The way he was hinting, he seems to know what's happening with Patterson.
Aye.
But I don't.
I genuinely don't don't know, but look, I would like to see. I'd like to see Patterson get the start, because I've said before, like it doesn't matter if it's against Cove or it's against Celtic or it's in Europe. He applies himself the same every single game, and it doesn't matter. He's playing for the shirt, and after like having to redeem himself, he doesn't want to let go of that shirt, and he knows he maybe only has a limited window now until the end of the season to really, really make the best impression he can, and he's already given Gerrard a lot to think about. And people are saying, "Oh, well, it's not fair dropping Patterson," but you don't want to overhype him. You don't want to like build him up too much. And Gerrard's very good at that. He knows when to give players a chance to prove themselves, and he knows when to keep them grounded. With all that being said, I'll contradict myself again. I would like to see Patterson start, but obviously from what Gerrard said, he seems to have an answer in his head about what's going to happen at the weekend and who he's going to start. But I would like to see Patterson keep his place and go back in.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat as you, William. I think. I think he deserves it. But then, maybe Tav's not as fit as we think is, because we saw that this evening. I gave him 50 minutes or alright. So you'd mind them, but they say okay, cool. The gaffer can do what he likes, William, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Anyway, we've been joined by GB. Gary Ficorby. How we doing, Gary?
I'm good, guys. How we doing? All right?
Hey, guys.
I'm good, too.
Aye, that was a hard watch, wasn't it?
It wasn't even that good, if I've been honest.
Nah, it was. Listen, got to take the positives to the fact that we've got minutes into players, and we're still undefeated. But it's bit of a soft penalty at the end, to be honest with you, and a bit of a smug look on his face when he managed to give it. I don't want to read too much into that, but you know, it did look like he was choking to get, but he talked 1.5 earlier on in the game. So I just think it must be so hard to keep motivated coming towards the end of the season in the league when you know it's done, and it's all your guns for is undefeated. But you know, I don't know. I've never been in them shoes, so I don't know what it's like. But that's what it looked like. It looked like a team that was just kind of trying to coast, and they got found wanting. And to be honest with you, St Johnstone deserved their point, 100%.
I don't think anybody's come on and said we really played well enough to win. We're disappointed how we lost the equaliser when we had the ball up the park, you know. But
very similar game to very similar game to the Hamilton game. No, my mate lost £700. No.
Oh, fuck.
That made me laugh. I'm a United fan. So.
Send my condolences, man. I've listened by them all weekend.
Anybody know what the update on the why we're not hearing from the SFA regarding the 5 lads?
No, I just assumed it was a Saints Day or something. That was what I assumed, you know. No, we'll be sure we'll hear in the next 40 years, but I don't think it's a different story for what you know, for the Edmondson Jones case. So
I can't see that being overturned, Docs. I can't see that being overturned. I really can't.
Did they not say they would? The announcement was supposed to be last Friday, and then it was put back to was it not Tuesday? Yesterday.
The meeting was meant to be today. Anyway, gentlemen, we've reached that time of the evening. Could you believe that? It's time to go. Over to you, Jaffa, for a shout out before we go.
What a great wee show, considering the result tonight. But I think we're all ultra positive about the weekend. Onwards and upwards. Bring on Sunday. That's what I say.
Yeah. Can I thank each and every one of you for coming on and your sense of humour after watching that performance tonight shone through there.
Sometimes, Ox, you've just got to laugh, haven't you? You've just got to. I mean, if we're struggling and we're close to them coming in for a league title running, we're just hitting the roof tonight with that performance. But let's face it, it was done weeks ago. It doesn't really matter, so aye.
Just to let you know, Denver, we're only kidding. It's a classic. Make sure you watch it.
Here, so I say something for a gaff, right? Big Denver's digging out his truck, snow. So let's think of the big man, whatever else.
Jim, just to let you know, your GoFundMe page is sitting at 75 pence, mate. How do you come, Alex?
Oh, sir, I was just wanting to say to Jim, just keep making the Paddy Power videos, pal. You're comedy gold.
You're very kind.
Right, just to let you know, tomorrow night, Rangers will be back normal time, 8 till 10. Linda will be with us, but we'll also be joined by Alistair Aird, who has just released a few weeks ago the Davy Robertson book. He's done some books with McCoy's, Davy Wilson. He's done a book on the 80s. It'll be great to hear from Alistair tomorrow night. He's coming on the show to join us. So listen, thanks for listening. Please stay safe. And remember, keep it going for the Rangers. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Davy Whitey manages the best team in the land. Davy Whitey manages the best team in the land. Davy Whitey manages the best team in the land. And the Jazz go marching on. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. And the Jazz go marching on. John Greggy is their captain, courageous, bold and true. He just loves to play for the boys in Royal Blue. John Greggy is their captain, courageous, bold and true. And the Jazz go marching on. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. And the Jazz go marching on. Ibrox is their home, that's why I'm mighty proud. And if you come to Ibrox, you will see me in the crowd. And when they score a mighty roar, the fans will sing and cheer. And the Jazz go marching on. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. The Jazz go marching on. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. The Jazz go marching on. Ibrox is their home, that's why I'm mighty proud. And if you come to Ibrox, you will see me in the crowd. And when they score a mighty roar, the fans will sing and cheer. And the Jazz go marching on. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. And the Jazz